Gather around, friends, new and old, and welcome to the POWWOW podcast. We are your hosts, Philip
and David.
Well, it's been a week. Well, actually, no, it hasn't even just been a week, Hoffman. I've missed us. I missed this, and it's been about now, for us, 2 weeks. We've had a couple of weeks to fully detoxify, fully get out.
Don't even ask me about the Oscars, please.
Well, which was worse, the winners or the losers or the ending? I mean, it can. It wasn't that great.
There were a couple winners that infuriated me, and a couple winners that I was just kind of like disappointed because I didn't think it was right. But that ending really was like, it felt so flat.
Yeah, it was very appropriate.
It just goes to show that the Academy doesn't know what's in that envelope, and when they open it up, they're just as surprised as we are, and that just goes to show it's not fixed. And I'm enjoying a beer right now. Don't judge me, Phil. And
that was the other news that came out that we probably won't talk about unless it was today, right here. Another round. Yes, it won. But now they're eyeing, it was the latest news, they're eyeing Leo DiCaprio for the lead role in a U.S. remake of that film. I was insulted.
I was too. I think it's insulting on two levels. First of all, there's no reason to even make that film. Like, don't.
No reason whatsoever.
Watch the original. It's brilliant. It doesn't need to be remade. Read the subtitles. Don't be a lazy shit. Second of all, if you were going to do an English remake, cast Mads Mikkelsen. He speaks English. He's been in loads of American movies. But back to my original point, don't make the movie. It doesn't need to be made. Don't do it.
Agree. I will say, coming from an American perspective, it was unique. I'll put it that way. Unique to see Ian play something that wasn't a villain. He has more of a villain tone over here in the American side of cinema.
You mean Mads Mikkelsen?
Or Matt Mikkelsen, excuse me. I was thinking of
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, sorry.
You're right. Two very different men.
Two very different men. Two very different types. Yes. Oh God, it's been 2 weeks. I'm a little rusty.
This week we're doing a red carpet themed episode. We're going to be talking. This was kind of partially a suggested topic by our audience, you guys, on Instagram several weeks ago. Someone thought we should talk about celebrity doppelgangers because they thought I looked like the guy from You. I'm forgetting his name now. And I looked it up and there was, maybe. I've never gotten that one before. I feel like his chin is more pointy and his nose is more pointy than mine. And then, we also thought it would be fun. I think we had the idea in the middle of one of our other episodes to talk about celebrities that we don't really like so much. So we thought, why not combine it all and do a big, fat, red carpet themed episode.
His name is Penn Badgley.
That's right. Yeah. And he's a good actor. I've seen some episodes of You. He's a good actor.
I've seen some episodes of You, baby.
Have you? I haven't.
I watched those. What's that television show you're in? Penn. What's the detective one?
What are you talking about?
Where you're in a detective television series.
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm not on any television series.
No, in the detective series.
Is this a joke?
No. Weren't you in the detective series? Perry Mason.
Oh, as background, yeah.
Wow, but I mean, come on.
Did you watch
in a television series. No, I don't have access to HBO.
Oh, okay.
But
I watched it. I'll say it was really cute. I was literally just background in a couple episodes, and you do see my face. I watched it with my mom. Because I wanted to see it. After seeing some of it live, I wanted to see it, and my mom and dad got so, like, especially my mom got like so excited when you see my face.
Yeah.
In one of the courtroom scenes, they literally like pan right past my face, and my mom got so excited. She was like, that's you. You're on TV. Yeah. Even though it's like just background, they're big fans, I guess.
All right. Anyway. So the assignment was, and I understood the assignment, was that we needed to come up with celebrity doppelgangers. Hoffman, may I go first for you?
Yeah, absolutely. By all means.
All right. you might be insulted, and I want you to have access to look this up because I don't know if you'll know who this is at first. But
All right, I got it ready. I'll look it up.
All right. I think you look like a young, bearded Ian McShane. Do you know who Ian McShane is off the top of your head?
I maybe.
The name kind of faintly rings a bell. Ian McShane, probably this is the best shot I have for reaching the mass populace. This is the guy who is the owner of the hotel.
Yeah.
For the John Wicks 2 and 3. I think that's my best shot at explaining to the people who Ian McShane is. He's a Jonathan. You here at the hotel, whatever it is, need to go and kill this guy.
I just looked him up, and he is
going to call you Jonathan.
He's the guy. He had one episode in Game of this is not what he's known for, but he had one episode in Game of Thrones as well, season 6. A great role, like good episode. Like he played a great role.
No,
but yeah, congratulations for coming up with something that I've never heard before.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I don't think it's insulting. I just thought it was unique where you wouldn't know. And he's a tremendous actor.
No, I mean, as long as
absolutely, because I've seen him now with a beard,
Ian
and then
McShane.
when I merged that with him younger. Because I looked at young pictures, I was like, oh, him now kind of looks like you both as bearded. I wonder what he looks like younger. And it was like, for me, it was perfect.
He's got this weird kind of like dark mustache that comes down his like cheek. But then like in the middle, it's dark as well. And then in between, it's like super gray.
I was going to say, I don't know how your beard will age like his. So there is that. But the facial hair, you both have a strong resemblance to one another. All right. Who was your... I'm curious. Okay. Who did you come up for me? So
I'm sure you have probably heard this before. Maybe not. I don't know. The only one that I could think of, you're very unique. You're wonderfully unique, Phil. The only one that I could kind of come up with, and this is kind of loose, but Taylor Lautner. But you're a lot less squinty than he is.
That's funny. He's
good. He's very squinty.
And I assure you, I have the same 6-pack under here. I am packing. He got his inspiration and workouts from me. I'm quite notorious for them. Yes, right. I shred on the weekend, bro.
You've got all the Team Jacob girls.
Yes, I do.
Just swooning over you at this point.
Yes, the campfire.
Have you heard that before?
No, actually. We're going to get into our next little part here is talk about celebrities we look like. I felt inadequate going into this one because I don't really ever get told I look like somebody. So I was very intrigued to see who you would pick. Taylor Lautner, very flattering. I mean, you could have said, I don't know, who would have been, like you could have said Steve Buscemi and I would have been very insulted. So I'm glad and I compliment you. Yeah.
You should look up Taylor. There are actually some pictures where I'm like, yeah, there's some similarity.
It makes sense. And I acknowledge and appreciate what you said. And like I said, I felt like mine was very complimentary to you as well. I could have.
You kind of sound like we've been through marriage counseling and we've been told that you have to acknowledge and appreciate what the other person is saying. And anyway, okay, so. Why don't you go first this time? Talk about some of the celebs that you always get told that you look like, or that you think that you look like.
Yeah, I always get told that I look like a more handsome Ryan Gosling. That's who I all the time. Just people stop me in the street, even with my mask on. It's eerie.
So annoying.
Yeah, it's just like, guys, please. No, I'll sign your autograph. No, I like I said earlier, I don't really, I wish that I could bring more to that one. I don't really get told I look like somebody a lot. I'm very unique for better and for worse facially. That's what it is. How about you, David? Who do you get told that you look like a lot besides the you guy?
That was only the one person through anonymously through our not anonymously, but through our Instagram. When I was younger, I used to get Drake Bell.
Oh,
before he got a little older.
Yeah,
and maybe I used to get Christian Bale a couple times. Like there were a few people who said that.
I was kind of on that spectrum. I was gonna maybe put that. I was like, I can see this. It's close.
It's a little loose.
It's a little it's interpretive.
Yeah, when I've had a mustache, like when I just have like just a mustache, I have once gotten the love child of James Franco and Tom Selleck, which I was like, wow, what
Wow.
what company to be in.
Yeah, what a devious
that was
mind
cool.
that one is. Yeah.
Yeah, I was delighted with that. I was so happy. But the number one, I think I've gotten this from at least 3 people, and 3 people, 2 of whom know the celebrity. Both of them were teachers of mine who know this guy, Eric Bana. I've been told that I look like a young Eric Bana, and I have looked up pictures of Eric Bana when he was young, and
Remind me.
I gotta say there are a couple he was Hector in Troy. He was
yes.
Hulk. He was the 2003 Hulk.
Yes, yes. Oh, God, I just saw that the other day. It does not age well. Oh.
No, it really did not.
God.
No, but I'm gonna maybe post a picture of this on our Instagram.
You should.
Of us side by side, because there are young pictures of him when he was young, and it really is like uncanny. Like, it's insane.
Now that's good.
But I told both those teachers, I was like, if you ever find out that he's doing something where he needs a younger version of himself, I can do it. Yeah. I swear. I can do an Australian accent if necessary, because he is from Australia. Please keep me in mind.
Unfortunately, I think you're you may be 1 decade too late. This past decade, he was hot. He was in Troy. He was in Hulk. He was in the astronaut or the time traveler's wife. He has
you never know.
Yeah. I mean, he could come around. He could come around. All right. Celebrity role models. So this is the part where we want to each talk about 2 celebrities whom we admire or whose careers we want to emulate. Hoffman, who are two celebrities that you either look up to or want to emulate?
Yeah, I didn't want to pick Tom Hanks or
right.
I would love to say Brad Pitt, because I really admire Brad Pitt's acting and I think he's great and I love the roles that he plays and I'd love to play similar roles, but it's just obviously, of course,
right.
So I thought I'd go for someone slightly less A-list. I mean, he's still pretty A-list now. But even 3 years ago, where his career was 3-4 years ago, he had done a season of Game of Thrones. He hadn't done Mandalorian yet. It's Pedro Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
I really I would be okay with just having maybe featuring in for a season on a show or do 3 seasons on a show or something. Not necessarily be Oscar winner David Hoffman, but be known in the industry, known by the people, but not necessarily people are gonna swarm me or I'm gonna be on the cover of magazines necessarily. And the other celebrity is actually, and I thought about this, and maybe this is because I've been listening to her podcast recently, and I know a lot more about her life. But Jenna Fisher, she played Pam on The Office.
Yes.
And I love that she was leading one of the lead roles in a TV show for 9 seasons. And she's done lots of other episodes here for TV shows and movies and stuff. Nothing she's not huge, but she's had a really great career and she's a family person. She has a husband and kids. And I too want not a husband, but a wife and kids and have a family, and bake bread. She bakes bread, I want that home life. I want that home life while still being an actor. So I really admire Jenna Fisher's the way I perceive her life to have gone. That's something that I would want to emulate. What about you?
See, if you did want a husband, you could marry me, and while you bake bread, I could break bread. How about that? There we go. So for my 2, it's a little bit different because on the one hand, I do have in me an actor, somewhere deep in there that's still at a foundational piece. I would like to continue acting at some point once I have my other career set. But because of that, I'm going to have 2 separate celebrities. I don't believe you'll know who my broadcasting celebrity is, but I think he is
probably not.
Yeah, he's across the spectrum, pretty well recognized. But for my acting one, and this is, I think I'm gonna get an eye roll from you, but you know what? You, John Travolta. I've always looked up to.
Wow.
I know. I've always looked up to him ever since I was a kid. Now, recently, that hasn't been as sterling a recommendation as anything. But when I was younger, I really did see him as one of the top triple threats out there, where he was known for his dancing and singing. He had a lot of talent. He had I think he might have been nominated. He's been in a couple Academy Award nominated films, I believe. He had put out a great stretch there where he was both starring in a lot of great films and doing a lot of great films. So I love the work But John Travolta was always somebody that I just really looked up to and really admired, and really set the scene for me to be interested in the arts. Weird as that may sound.
Yeah. No, not weird.
Okay. And then my broadcasting celebrity would be Colin Cowherd. I really look up to him. I think that he's got very smart opinions, very smart takes. And you can definitely tell the work that he puts in and day out. And I really appreciate his approach to the show. I appreciate his approach towards sports, and I appreciate his dedication and work. It shows, and while he makes it look easy. So those are two celebrities that I find to be role models.
And this is a fun one. Next, we're doing celebrity peeves.
Yes, we could have made this its own thing, is how notorious, at least between us, these particular topics are. We may have to even go into deeper specificities later on in a separate show. That's how deep these run for us each.
I actually have probably quite a lot of these, but I chose the two that I think I've mentioned both of them on the show before.
I think I've mentioned at least one of mine.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll start. Look, and my reason behind both of these is that I have no, like, I detest when people have a complete lack of humility and class, and both of these celebrities, in my perception, really truly lack any humility and class or yeah. Anyway, so Jared Leto's one of them.
Jared Leto.
He has, like, I from the stories that I've heard, just, oh my God, like, puts his own ego ahead of common decency. The stories from Suicide Squad, whatever, on that set, the things that he did because he thought he had the right, I don't know. Just don't like him. I think he's a good actor, but I don't like his work. Like, I don't really like his work. And I don't like, whenever he's on, like, talk shows, it just irritates me so much.
May I say that this was probably the first talking point you and me ever had, really. We had some slight interactions before this, and then one day we were on our way to go see a film, because we discovered that pretty early on in our tenure in friendship.
Right.
Our mutual friend had introduced us through movie watching, so we kind of established that. And on the way to one film, we talked about, I think it's a film that's upcoming still for him. I was like, oh, did you see the new Morbius film? It's a film that has yet to release, or they have yet to release, that he's in. And boom, pops the dynamite. You just went off. And I could not have been more shocked that somebody had such a strong opinion on Jared Leto. Like, I've heard it about the Kardashians. I've heard it about, there's some other inflammatory celebrities, and you just went all out on Jared Leto. It was absolutely surprising.
Don't like him.
Yeah.
Don't like him. The other one, you speaking of the Kardashians, don't like the Kardashians either. I think that their fame is toxic to society. But the other one is Kanye West. Like, talk about a complete lack of humility, and just general, like, I think my dislike for Kanye is completely justified. I do not like that guy, and I have no problem saying it. So
that's yeah, no, that's fair. He's very opinionative as a person, and he's
egotistical.
Yes,
he's egotistical.
He does,
and I just have no respect for that.
He's a chocolate dipped banana dripping with ego. Anyways, my celebrity peeves. My first one is, and I don't even need to set the table like you did. It's Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron Howard's daughter, and nepotism personified. Truly, the reason why I say that, I always worry about how things are perceived sometimes and how people will take it. And it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman, nothing whatsoever. And I always worry about that. It has nothing to do with that. You look at any of the films she's in and time out, I always attribute her to be objectively, I feel. Maybe it's become something of a bias, but objectively, you go and look at each of the films that she's in, she is the worst part of them. And it just, again, it reeks of nepotism, where you look at Jurassic World, What's the
Sure.
worst part of it?
Yeah, no, she really is the worst part of that movie.
She is the worst part of them. I think the rest of it's fun and it can be exciting. Or maybe not Jurassic World, but the one before that. Maybe whatever the first one was of the reboots. She's the worst part of it.
That was the first one.
Okay, then that's what I mean.
Of the reboot, yeah.
You look at Rocket Man. The worst part of that film is any interaction she has with the film. I don't like it. I hate that how her dad's Ron Howard, and it completely reeks of her getting advanced because of that. It really sits wrong with me that she's become something here, and it doesn't bode well. I don't know. I just don't like Bryce Dallas Howard more so for what she stands for than her as the person. She does come across as a genuinely good person. I will give her that. Hopefully she is. But it's more so to do with what she embodies, I suppose. And then the other one is Tekashi 6ix9ine. I don't even know if you know who this is, Hoffman.
No idea.
Let's just say snitches get stitches. He is that one guy who went to jail and then went and blabbed on everybody, and he's a rapper, and he has like the candy cane dreads, and he has like the saw chain. If you don't know who he is, kudos to you. He annoys me. Anytime I see news about him, he annoys me. He just probably the same for Kanye, but just in a different world. And I don't know why, but maybe it's because I was in a radio station and our circles just kept interacting, and I was annoyed every time I had to look up news or anything to do with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Better off your world by not getting involved with him whatsoever.
Yeah. Can I just say Kanye, like, I don't even think, like, there's some of his older songs that are like kind of good, but like not even that creative. I think of Kanye and I immediately think of Poopity Scoop. That's like, stop trying to tell me that his music is really artsy and like inspired. Stop it. It's not. It's utter crap. Complete shit.
For me, it's I like a lot of what he did. I do think he is a genius when it comes musically. That's just my opinion. The person I could care less for. I can separate the two. But for me, it's like when he made the Religious album, I had tons of people tell me, oh my God, this is the best thing on the planet. I'm so happy about it. And it just reeked of, all right, just because now he's finally going with a subject matter you care about. This is not nowhere near the good quality that he had before. And it feels normalized, if anything else. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Yes, before we blow a gasket and we talk about Nomadland.
Yeah. This is fun.
This one is fun. All right, last one, celebrity crushes. Now, you wanted to start out the age group for this for when we were 6 to 10. I got to be honest with you, I couldn't come up with somebody. Maybe towards closer to the 10 range, I had somebody, but I feel like they were more appropriate for the next range. So who are you going to go with for the age range of 6 to 10 when you were 6 to 10?
Yeah, when I was 6 to 10, I don't even know what, like, I think it was the movie Honey, which is like a dance movie. And my celebrity crush at that time was Jessica Alba. I absolutely adored Jessica Alba.
See, now I go with you there with Jessica Alba from the ages of 11 to 15. From the ages of 11 to 15, Good Luck Chuck was, that was a fine film, my friend. That was a tremendous film. She was just, the epitome of attraction for me. Chef's kiss.
From 11 to 15, yeah, I mean, I totally agree. From 11 to 15, I think in reality, I was still on Jessica Alba for the first few years, and then moved into the next person. But I kind of picked two that I was kind of maybe into at that time. Jen Aniston, but only because I was watching Friends. Only because I was watching Friends, and she was a little bit younger in Friends and more sort of, not that she's not, still gorgeous when I was 15, but like I wasn't like that into her. Sure. And Natalie Portman, again, like I thought she was like gorgeous, but I wasn't like I don't think I ever actually considered her a celebrity crush. I was mainly still on Jessica Alba, and then moved into the person who I had a huge crush on in my late teens, who was Mila Kunis.
Ah, that 70s show, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that and like
Black Swan,
half the rom-coms that were not really Black Swan. I watched that I think a little bit later. But Mila Kunis was in like half the rom-coms that were coming out at that time with Ashton Kutcher and Justin Timberlake and Forgetting Sarah Marshall is to this day my favorite rom-com. It's such a good rom-com.
That is a fairly good rom-com.
Actually really funny.
Yeah, we should do a ranking of rom-coms. Anyways,
we should.
Yeah, my 11 to 15 was just Galba. Okay, so you're late teens. So that I'd imagine that goes
That was
from like
Mila
16 to
Kunis.
19. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah,
so
16
then
and 19. That was Mila Kunis for me.
for me, it transitioned to Scarlett Johansson. This was the era upon which how do I say this? She exhibited her upper body strength a lot. Now I know she became distasted with that. But this was a good year for that couple of years. It was slight and it was short, but man, Scarlett Johansson was just absolutely at the top pinnacle peak of what I thought was, let us go, baby. Let's get lost in translation. Let's do Black Widow. Let's go through the entire list. It was fantastic. Early 20s now. This is the part and time somewhere in here. I forget when she like released her first.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Ariana Grande?
It is absolutely Ariana Grande. Whenever she released her first two albums, or maybe her second and third album, whichever was like the one preceding God Is Woman, and then she released one with Mac Miller. That was, I don't know. It's like something about it. I think she came into like my purview when she did that whole licking of a donut thing. And that's the only reason. It's not like the actual act of licking a donut did something for me. It was just more so, I just remember that being around the time I was like, who is this and why do we care about them licking a donut? And then that started a poop ball rolling there where I got caught up in. So
a poop ball?
Yeah. Because I got caught up in.
We'll brush past that casually.
Yeah, because a dung beetle rolls up poop, so it creates a ball.
Okay. I didn't think you were going to be able to rationalize that with me, but I get it. Sure.
All right.
Early 20s, this was when I was like super into Game of Thrones. I used to procrastinate for my engineering exams with just Game of Thrones history and lore, like the lore of like this fake universe of Game of Thrones, which had no bearing on anything in the real world. But that's how I would procrastinate studying for my exams.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And I was a super fan at that stage, and they ruined it. But that's not the point. I loved Emilia Clarke. She was my early 20s were all Emilia Clarke. Yeah,
she could have been the mother of your dragons.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it always bothered me that it never bothered me personally, but I always figured like if we ever met, she would be bothered by the age difference.
It never bothered you, but you were always very considerate and worried about her well-doing.
I knew that it would bother. It would probably bother her.
It would probably bother. Jesus, how kind and considerate of you. Jesus. All right, let's move on.
Okay, so what's your
right?
So you said.
That's right.
Yeah, your latest.
Right. I forgot
the same
about
for you, right?
Yeah, the latest for me was the same. It still is Ariana Grande. She hasn't really
Ariana, are you listening?
Yeah, I know.
Are you listening?
She's engaged for like the 7th time now. Come on. I want to be next in line. Next in line. I can do it. Please, Ariana.
Ariana, this would be the one that stuck.
Yes, it would
be the one that stuck.
Yes, it would be.
The latest for me, I discovered her in a movie theater with you sitting right next to me, Phil. This is Ana de Armas.
Ah, yes.
She was in Knives Out. Phil and I were in the movie theater together watching Knives Out, and like 10 or 15 minutes into the movie, Phil just turned to me and he was like, "Is it just me, or are you like totally distracted by how gorgeous she is?" And it's still to this day, I'm so jealous of Ben Affleck.
I know.
Never thought I'd be jealous of Ben Affleck. Just kidding. I do like Ben. I think he's great. But she is so talented and so gorgeous. She's the whole package.
Yes,
everything about her.
I agree. I forgot about that one, but you're right.
Are you listening?
That was a good remembrance.
Are you listening? Random question of the week. Phil, I'll go first. What is your favorite pasta sauce?
Favorite pasta sauce? I can't really get it right now, but it's feta. It's Alfredo. I always have to say the whole thing.
You like the Alfredo?
I do like the Alfredo. I am a sucker. I do like spaghetti and meatballs with marinara sauce, but Alfredo sauce is the man. I could just eat up and guzzle, my friend. Alfredo sauce. It's so good. For you, my random question for you, David: would you ever become a stud and charge fees to carry on the Hoffman name and bloodline?
Oh, making my question feel a little insignificant. Would I ever become like a donor, like a sperm donor?
Oh no, my friend, not a donor. You've got to go full thrust into this line of work.
Gotcha. Would I ever become?
But it's with the aim. It's with the aim
of procreating.
To procreate. Yes, there's no enjoyment here. It's purely professional.
I'm getting purely professional, of course.
Yeah.
It always is.
Always is.
But I'm getting paid for this.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No. I think I would love to say, yeah, sure, why not? No, I think it's too personal of a thing for me. I can't just have
imagine that resume.
Kids with many women who I'm not actually that connected with, and no, can't do it. I gotta be Papa.
Well, you would be. This is Once More, and this week we are going to try and somewhat associated with our main topic here. And David, I thought that this would be very interesting to the people. Now, we can take one of two ways with this, because the prompt is going to be, what level of celebrity could you handle? Meaning, what level of popularity could you live with if you could choose it? Now, do you want me to give you the full-on what do I have? I think I have 4 different levels of celebrity, at least within actors. Would you rather me give you all 4 levels of the celebrity and kind of explain them? Or do you want to go point by point and then you say, yeah, I think I could go there. No, I think I couldn't.
Let's do it the second way.
Why not? Okay. First celebrity level is Kylie Jenner. You're recognized everywhere locally. You have to travel with security, do a lot of selfies, and rich, we think.
God,
maybe even having to do a television show all the time.
No. I don't really think I don't want to have to travel with security. I don't want to be expected to post on Instagram. I'll post on Instagram when I'm good and ready.
Yeah.
And I don't need to I don't need to be a billionaire. That is so capitalist. No, yeah, she's like this self-made billionaire who would never have become a billionaire if it weren't for
her fame,
her family.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, can't do it.
Okay, next one. Michael Jackson, world famous, megastar, can't go anywhere in the world without being recognized anywhere, but uber talented.
Okay, no, I'd rather not.
Okay.
To be honest, I'd rather not be at that level. No.
Okay. Next one is still in that vein. It's and I labeled it as the Macaulay Culkin / Lindsay Lohan strain of famous, where you're a child star, grew up in and with the limelight on you. Some might say you peaked as a child, but people typecast you all the time, and you have all that young money.
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, I'm kind of beyond that now. I'm not famous, and I'm in my 20s, so no. But no, if that was an option presented to me, I don't know, I would rather again, I wouldn't do that. But I feel like there's definitely some intermediary celebrity levels that are missing here. But go on.
Sure. And then Daniel Day-Lewis, where you're uber talented, but ultimately less famous than you probably deserve. Could go around in a mask and be completely unrecognizable to the general public, but within your circle, highly respected and highly touted.
Yeah, that would be the ideal for me. I would love to I would love nothing more than to win an Oscar, but not necessarily be winning an Oscar as Leonardo DiCaprio, who's known in every movie and he's super famous.
Right.
I would rather be that guy who wins an Oscar and everyone checks out the movie maybe, but 2 years later they've kind of forgotten about it. You know, I still have the award, I still have the recognition within the industry, but not necessarily people aren't going to be chasing me down the street or anything. Respected, well known, but not necessarily swarmed all the time. Yeah, I think that's where the sweet spot is.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's where I would go. Did you have another level that you said you wanted to incorporate that you can think of?
Not really. I mean, again, I'd go back to our main topic where I talked about Pedro Pascal and Jenna Fisher, both respected. They work a lot, have worked a lot at least. They've done lots of things. They've had a career with lots of variety, but aren't they're not constantly getting chased by by paparazzi, you know, and crucially, I don't know about Pedro Pascal, but Jenna Fisher has that family. So like that level of fame where like, you know, I'm well known, people love my work, but I'm not like, again, getting chased.
Okay. Speaking of which, speaking of Daniel Day-Lewis, we've got one of his illegitimate sons coming up here to play a game with us. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this segment of the podcast. And we are going to be playing a game, but of course, a game means that we will be bringing in a guest. And today's guest, David, is a friend of both of ours. The one, the only, the illegitimate child of Daniel Day-Lewis, Cole Lewis. Welcome to the show, Cole.
Thank you, Phil.
Yes.
I love the honor of Daniel Day-Lewis's son.
No, illegitimate son. It's even questionable.
It's a very you are nothing if not a bastard, Cole.
Bastard from a basket.
Yeah, see. There we go. We all know each other. All right. So, David, you want to break down this week's game?
Yeah, so it was actually my turn to come up with a game, and I came up with a game, and then Phil thought it was his turn and came up with a better game. So we're just going to do that because who cares? Yeah, so am I supposed to explain the concept here?
Sure. I think
basically Phil and I have each got like 5 audio snippets, and it'll be the challenge of the 2 competitors, myself and Cole, and then Philip and Cole, to try to mimic that sound or impression or whatever it may be as best they can. And I think so, for example, Phil will play a sound, Cole and I will do our best imitation of that sound, and then Phil, I guess, will decide who did it better. Is that right, Phil?
It's approximately, yeah. So we're each going to have probably our own take on it, but essentially it's we'll call this the Mockingjay challenge, where we each have an audio thing, whether that we want them to reciprocate or make, and it'll make sense as we go along. And the judge will have ultimate say. We might have to bring this to social to say, you know, do you agree with that? But for lack of a better time right now, we are just going to make whoever comes up with the sounds to be the judge. Now, David, do you want to go first or second, since it is your week to choose?
I will go second.
You will go second.
I do have faith in both of us to be as fair as possible.
Okay, cool. All right, so Cole, since you are our guest, you shall be the first up on the chopping block. The sound I want you both to make is the sound of you, and this is going to be themed since we are still on our last little gasp of air on Oscars, since we're finally going to leave it. And I know everybody's excited for us to leave the Oscars. We will be done, but this is our last little gasp of it. So that, keep in mind, that's the theme. I want both of you guys, starting with Cole, to make the sound of you in the limo being driven to the awards, whatever sound pops into your mind. So Cole, what is the sound one would hear of you in the limo being driven to the award show?
I'm sorry, I'm in the limo? What's the sound I hear?
You can do either the sound of the limo, you can do the sound of what would it sound like if somebody had an audio recorder of you inside of the limo, and you can go.
Oh God, they have champagne in here? God, I might just turned 21. This is I'm on my way to the Oscars. I'm gonna win this Academy Award for Best Actor. I'm definitely gonna beat out Anthony Hopkins.
All right, there's our there we go. Thank you. There's our first contestant, and Hoffman, you are next.
All right. Anyone for some champagne? I think I've had a little too much already.
All right, I'm gonna give the first round. As third person as Cole Lewis's was, I'm gonna go and David's. I'm gonna go with David because he at least gave me the champagne sizzle.
No, that's so unfair.
All right, now you have a barometer, Cole. You have a barometer to elevate yourself to going forward. All right, next one, David Hoffman. You get first tug at this, if you will. Okay. The sound of paparazzi taking pictures of you.
David, look over here. Who are you wearing?
All right, there's contestant number 1. Cole.
I'm sorry. Did you say who are you wearing?
Yeah, no, that's common.
Yeah, that's what
common.
they say.
That is what they say. Yeah, they go
And
with
you go, oh, this is Louis Vuitton.
Oh, this is Gucci. Versace. All right.
It's like, who are you wearing as in who's the designer?
Who's the designer? Who's the brand?
Okay. All right. Cool.
Cole Lewis, you are next. And
right.
Go.
Oh my gosh, there's Cole Lewis. He's getting out of the limo right now. Hey, everybody. How you all doing tonight? Oh my gosh. Is that a velvet blue tuxedo? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Cole, why don't you get over here on the red carpet with Scarlett Johansson and take a few pictures? Oh, of course.
All right. I got to say, Cole Lewis rose to the challenge, and I got to give him the point over there. So that's a one-and-one tie.
There.
Yeah,
beat that, Hoffman.
There we go. He can't. All right, 1-1 tie. All right, next one. We're going to go to you first, Cole. The sound of you meeting Meryl Streep for the first time in person.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Money, 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 must be funny in a rich man's world. Meryl Streep, I loved you in Mamma Mia. I think that is by far your best performance of all time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Just to be clear, your first introduction to Meryl Streep, and you take the cojones to sing to her. You sing to her as your first introduction.
As I imagine it in my head, say like there's the red carpet, I'm on one side and she's on the other, and I see her, and then I'm just kind of like doing this seductive lunge towards her, just singing that song, and then she's gonna reciprocate it back. And
yes,
the rest is history.
Seductive lunges all up and down the red carpet. Why haven't we seen that before? Go ahead, David. You are next up.
Meryl Streep. I gotta say, I just Sophie's Choice was just like just an absolute. Oh my God! I would never be so brazen and bold as to suggest that Mamma Mia was somehow superior to Sophie's Choice. You were just so talented.
You know what? David's was more authentic, but I love the boldness of Cole's and that he elected to sing. And I think that would elicit a much better response from Meryl Streep that she's never really had to deal with before. So I'm going to give it to Cole, even though I appreciate the authenticity that you brought forward, David. So Cole leads now 2-1. We go into the next one. David, you get to go first here.
Okay.
The sound of you being announced the winner of your first Oscar.
All right. And the Oscar goes to David Hoffman, Knight Rider. Woo! Woo! Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I so many people to thank, and yet it's not about that, is it? Because I'm standing up here, and my work is just amazing. So thank you to me, glorious me. Good night, everybody. Have a great time.
All right, thank you, Kanye. Now we're going to go to Cole, and you may start whenever you are ready, Cole.
Okay. And the nominees are Timothy Oakes, Philip Amorin, Cole Lewis, and David Hoffman. And the winner is Cole Lewis. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Oh, thank you. I just really want to say thank you to my fellow nominees, except for Mr. Hoffman, as he gave one failure of performance. He's the only person I know to be nominated for a Razzie and an Oscar. And I'm glad he took home the Razzie and not the Oscar. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
Shade.
You know what? I liked Cole's enthusiasm more, but I just don't see it ever happening in the Oscar history to be nominated and win a Razzie and be nominated in an Oscar. So for the lack of authenticity on this one, it bit you.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Didn't Glenn Close get nominated for a Razzie and an Oscar this year? And she won the Razzie, but didn't win the Oscar, I think.
Wow. Is this true, David? Are you aware of this, Hoffman?
I don't even know what a Razzie is, so don't ask me.
Oh, okay. Well,
Razzie is like...
Go ahead, Cole.
It's like the worst. So like the Oscars are the best, the Razzies are the worst.
Yeah, essentially, Razzies are awards for giving the worst performance. So if you win the Razzie for Best Picture, you won an award for putting out, like I think Jack and Jill by Adam Sandler won the Razzie a couple of years ago. That's what we're talking about.
That should have won an Oscar.
Was it for Hillbilly Elegy or was it for a different movie?
Yeah, it was for Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah. Wow.
Jesus. Okay.
I gotta say,
Wow.
Cole Lewis up on his pop culture right here. She did in fact get a nomination for the same role in Hillbilly Elegy. I'm absolutely shocked. Way to go, Cole. Your histrionics shan't win you this one, but it will be merited in the final round here as David pulls off a win for his role in winning an Oscar. Last one here
For Knight Rider somehow.
Yes, for Knight Rider.
They made a movie out of Knight Rider.
All right.
Not Ghost Rider?
Not Ghost Rider. No. Cole, since you are our guest, I brought 6 of these sound cues here. So do you want as the last one, do you want 1 or 2? You either get option A or option B. Which would you choose?
Option B.
Option B. Gentlemen, I need your best sound of you trying to subtly hit on one of the actresses for Best Supporting Actress. Cole, you get to go first.
Any actress ever? One supporting actress?
Sure. I thought of it more as a generic of, you're just at the awards. She's at the awards at a different table and you're trying to get her attention and subtly hit on her.
Okay. All right. Here it goes. Hey, congratulations. That's a nice award you got there. Oh, thank you. It's really nice of you. I don't usually do this, but I got something pretty shiny myself.
Jesus. All right. And Hoffman, you can follow that up whenever you're ready.
Wow. You're Scarlett Johansson. Your performance in Marriage Story was just awesome. I think amongst such amazing nominees, it's so impressive for you to just shine above the rest. And gosh, I hope to one day be in your shoes. And I was gonna go a different direction there, but I'm gonna stop myself.
All right. Well, in light of that, Cole Lewis, your first appearance. And your first win. Congratulations, my man.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got to be honest. When you said impressions, I was thinking more like do a Scooby-Doo or like a Kronk impression or something. If we would have done those two specifically, I would have won for sure.
Yeah.
But it seems like I already win, so.
Yes, so you would have won.
Cole, you would have been competing against me, and so I don't know. I think my Kronk is pretty good.
Hey, your Kronk is it's pretty good, but not as good as mine.
Jeez Louise. Well, that is a separate game, and we'll have to bring you back on to fully duke it out. But let's go over to Hoffman. Hoffman, what is your iteration of this game?
So I actually do have some kind of they're not going to be impressions of specific of just general characters, but very specific lines from movies.
Okay.
And I'll play the line that I want you to say.
Okay.
And then I want you both to do your best attempt
at recreating,
imitating this.
Yes. Okay.
At recreating the moment.
Okay.
I hope this is going to work. I've got the link, so I'm going to, yeah. This is the first one.
Cole, you're going to be going first here.
Okay.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
All right. There you go. Did you hear that?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
All right, I just go?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
All right. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Oh, both good. Both good. That's tough. Very, very convincing. I think the intonation was just a little better with Cole.
No.
So I'm going to give that one to Cole.
Okay. Cole takes the first point. What's the next one? And I'll start off here.
Confound it all, Samwise Gamgee! Have you been eavesdropping?
I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir, honest.
Okay. Are we doing Gandalf or Sam?
Let me go back. You were trying to repeat Sam's first line in that. I'll play it again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Confound it all, Samwise Gamgee! Have you been eavesdropping?
I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir, honest.
Can you
go ahead?
Can you before I do it, can you just give me what the line is? I'm not familiar enough.
I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir, honest.
Eaves?
Eaves, like eavesdropping.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay. I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir. Honest.
Cole.
I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir. Honest.
Yeah, I don't think either of you nailed the accent.
I disagree wholeheartedly with that. I gave the performance of a lifetime in that goddamn clip, and I want my Oscar now.
We've been over this often. I am Samwise Gamgee.
You are on the inside, but I think that one has to is edged by as slim a margin as the last one by Phil. Yes. So we're back up 1-1, one apiece, and here's the next one.
I couldn't disagree more.
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
Go ahead.
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. Duh.
All right,
I love that.
Yeah, I know.
Acapella soundtrack there.
Yeah, he created his own outro music. I don't know how to compete with that. You best start believing in ghost stories, Mrs. Turner. You're in one. Da-da.
That definitely goes to Phil. That one was a strong one there.
I can't argue with that.
All right. Yes.
You had all the grunt that was necessary.
Thank you. If there's one that I needed to win, that's the one I needed and wanted.
That quote always makes me think of you, Phil.
God bless it. All right. What's our next?
Okay, I gotta let me start over.
As you no doubt have guessed, I am Morpheus.
Okay, I start out
I
here.
can't do that. That's totally tailored for Phil.
I'm sorry. What do you mean here, Cole? All right. Hold on. Here we go. Wait, what's the line one more time? Just like written out, just to make.
I think it's as you probably have guessed, I'm Morpheus.
Okay. As you probably have guessed, I am Morpheus.
You're so calm.
Can Phil just win this one?
You got a shot here, Cole. Go on.
All right. As you probably have guessed, I am Morpheus.
You're both so relaxed. I don't know how to choose that one. That one's a tough one.
Do you want to retest?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Do it
here.
again.
Let me give you a little something. He seems very calm in the clip, but you seem like you want a little more. So let me just grab something down here.
Command me.
Yes. As you probably have guessed, I am Morpheus. Cole, take your shot again. Here we go. Add a little something. Give a little sizzle for Hoffman.
As you probably have guessed, I am Morpheus.
Are you seducing Hoffman? What the?
Who would want to be seduced by Morpheus?
God, I'm torn here, but in the interest of the game itself, I'm going to give it to Cole, and we will have a tiebreaker here, 2-2. And here's your last one. You will know it, and this one, creativity points for this one.
Okay.
No, I am your father.
I believe Cole takes this one first. Yes.
Yep. Go ahead, Cole. Creativity points.
No, I am your father.
All right.
Okay, Phil.
Luke, I am your father. Everything the sun touches, we own. That's why we bought this very expensive Darth Vader Dark Star.
Phil, I was ready to give it to you there. I don't know. You got the quote wrong. It's no, I am your father, not Luke, I am your father.
That is the main mistake everyone makes too. They always think it's Luke, I am your father.
Let me tell you, Hoffman, if you don't give this to me, I'm about to be more than your daddy.
I did say creativity points, and throwing in the Mufasa there gets you the win.
Yeah,
so,
baby!
Congratulations, Phil.
Yes. Oh, God bless it. God bless it.
I can't argue with that. That was just beautiful, Phil.
Thank you.
Or should I say thank you? Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate
Gosh,
this.
Cole, it has been such an awesome time having you, man. It's it's a lot of fun.
Thank
and
you.
we will definitely have you back at some point soon, I hope. And,
Yeah, I'd love that.
Anything that you would want to plug quickly before we say goodbye?
Just thank you for having me. And I mean, if there's ever like, you guys ever have anything about movies, I'm always in for movies.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great, man.
And with that, our score goes for me now 4-6, and David is now tied at 5-5.
Ooh. That slaps. This week, I am going to do a little bit of a plug for a friend of mine in LA, a musician. I've featured one of his songs on this segment before. This one is my favorite of his songs. His name is Julian DeVizio. He's a good friend of mine, and I love his work. His song "I Just Wanna Love You" is a total bop. I love it. It gives me joy every time I hear it, and you should definitely check him out. And this will be on our playlist, so check it out.
Yeah, my That Slaps is going to be called, it's a song called You, and it's performed by Regard, Troye Sivan, and Tate McRae. I could have mispronounced any and all of those names, but this is the one that I'm going to call my shot on, David. I think that this will be the first my That Slaps that you will absolutely adore, or at least that I will come to know. I'm going to call my shot.
Have you listened to the playlist? Have you like actually like put it on and listened to it?
In all honesty, Spotify is not my music platform, so I haven't really. I'd have to go out of my way to listen to it, and I just haven't been able to. It's like, it's not only that if it were on Apple Music, which is where I go, if it were on Apple Music, I would. It's much more easily accessible to me. Whereas Spotify, it's
Gotcha.
like 3 steps, which is fine. But no, I have not. Does it have any flow whatsoever on like shuffle?
Not really, but you know what? It's fun.
Yeah.
I like most of the songs.
Most of the songs.
Most of the songs.
Thank you so much for listening this week. We want to give out a few thank yous before we close up shop here and pack up the tents. Thank you to Tara Amstutz for all of her wonderful graphic work and design on our logo that we try to use any and everywhere. Tara, we really appreciate your contribution to the show. We love it. Thank you.
And thank you to Casting Crossland and to Jake Corlang for the music that you hear on this show. It's wonderful. It adds so much. Thank you, guys.
Remember to subscribe and listen to all of our past episodes that you haven't got a chance to yet. And subscribe to make sure that you listen to all of our future incoming episodes. We're pretty much any and everywhere you want to go. I already told you that I'm not a big Spotify guy, but we have some stuff there. We have some stuff on Apple iTunes and everything else. And then, of course, we've even got stuff on Google. Everywhere that you can go, except for Pandora, because let's be honest, you're not listening to us on Pandora.
You watch out for Bear Snow.